Anyway, welcome to the show. This is Phil Marshall from Spoken. Now, Spoken is a really cool platform, and me and Phil have met at a few conferences over the last few months, both in Las Vegas and in New Orleans. So it's really great to get him to come on and chat live. Now, I think Spoken is it's a bit of a new platform doing a few different things for authors. So I thought it'd be great if you could give us a bit of the elevator pitch, give us a bit of a overview of exactly what Spoken does and why you started it.
Yeah, Teddy, it's great to be with you again, in our comfortable home environment, not Vegas or New Orleans. And so, yeah, thanks. So, yeah, this has been a heck of a journey. This coming Tuesday, the 22nd of July, will represent 1 year to the day from our release of our live demo, at our beta, our free beta, and and so we're going to be launching our V1 product. Like, we're ready. Like, we've learned, my own sort of intuition about what was needed in the market has been altered and tweaked and enhanced by all the thousands of users that we've had, the authors that have created great audiobooks and great short form on the platform. And so we're getting ready. My own journey, I, might be of interest. I sold a conversational AI company in healthcare in 2021. So AI tech is sort of my thing. I used to be a surgeon, so healthcare was my domain. But after I sold the company, I went to go finish my debut novel, Taming the Perilous Skies. That is going to be coming out on September 12th in all forms. But just a few weeks ago, um, it became the very first fully automated multicast audiobook ever produced in human history. And so the what we've developed at Spoken is unparalleled with regard to its level of quality, and especially in the multicast domain. And being able to take that manuscript, identify and characterize every character and the voice that they should have, and then being able to then prepare that, whether it's single narrator or dual narration for romance writers or multicast narration. It's just pretty incredible. And so I can share a bit visually if you like, but it's an exciting time. Audio, our intuition at Spoken and the team is just that audio is just racing ahead of all other forms of consuming written work. And so while ebooks, are, kind of right at, parity on growth. Audio is growing by 26% year over year,
Yeah.
and now, with technology, audio becomes accessible, not an afterthought for authors, but right on the front burner, and it should be, because especially for the younger demographics, I'm an audio only reader myself, but especially for the younger demographics, audio is primary, not secondary, and so we're excited to be bringing this capability to authors to easily and inexpensively bring their high quality audio to the market.
Yeah, lovely. And I think what what's the particular problem you were trying to solve for authors, do you think? Because obviously there are places that you can get audiobooks created with AI in different places, but your platform offers something slightly different. Would you like rather just go straight into the demo, or would you like to just give a quick
Yeah,
overview
I'm
of
happy.
why
I'm
you're
happy to do that. Yeah, but I think in short, first of all, the AI narration is new on its own, right? It's funny to hear you
yeah.
talk about. Well, there are plenty of established providers of AI narration. This is
I
this
didn't say
is
plenty of
this is
established, but yeah.
all this is all new.
Yeah.
Okay, and especially the vertical or the niche of audio stories and the distribution of audiobooks is new among the new. And so what really distinguishes Spoken is our focus on authors, making sure that the end results are exactly what the author and their readers need. And then on top of that, our multicast is just frankly unparalleled. So yeah, so I'll share a little bit with you.
Yeah,
I
perfect.
mean, have demo will travel. So I'm happy to do that.
I'll jump in
So
with questions along the way if I think they're kind of relevant to the bit we're talking about. If that's
yeah,
okay.
absolutely. And so on Spoken, when you publish your works, you can have them on Spoken, you can share them on Spoken. You might have a short form on Spoken or a trailer on Spoken, and that could lead to wherever you're hosting your audiobook. But let me show you what it's really about, and that is Studio. So Spoken Studio is where the magic happens. And so I'm just going to go ahead and show you a quick little story here. So we'll call this Welcome to the Audioverse, a fun little story that I wrote to kind of highlight the potential of the platform. I need Riverside to kind of minimize. Am I still on with you?
Are you still with me? Yeah, you just get me out of the way and you can carry on.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, super. All right, super. And so if it's a short form like this is, or if it's a 50 chapter work like Taming the Perilous Skies, either way, we take it through the same process. And so we start with an in-depth analysis of the overall work. And we analyze every single chapter, and we'll roll that up chapter by chapter into an overall summary. As well as all of the different channels that this might fit into and all the metadata that would help discoverability, as well as some comparables. We do also all the safety analysis. And if it's a 50 chapter work, we will do this for every single chapter and then roll up the Uber information at the overall work level. But here's where it really comes down. So single narrator, dual narration, or multi-character, multi-voice, what we call
So
MC
on that summary section, that's actually so you've uploaded your manuscript of your book, and your AI is actually taking that summary out and then doing the checks itself. That's not something you add yourself.
That's right. No, everything you're looking at here is completely automated, right? And so, yep, chapter by chapter, and then it rolls it up to an Uber level, which is really, really awesome. And so I'm going to go ahead and go with Hume AI. Their voices are just fantastic. We've got a great relationship with both 11 Labs and Hume AI, and so we're pleased to be able to present sort of the best of the best to the author market. And of course, I'm going to go with Multicast because we're on a demo with Teddy. And so let me tell you what happens right here, because this becomes really, really super interesting. We take that manuscript and we now parse it into sections. We then parse every single one of those passages spoken by every character, and we separate it out. And we've got specific agentic train models that are doing this behind the scenes. And so what it's doing right now is it's preparing each of those passages, but more than that, it's knowing which character is speaking which passages versus things like the dialogue tags or the other aspects of the story, which are spoken by the narrator. And then it also separates those passages with just the perfect amount of cadence and the perfect tone for every single passage. And then what we do on top of that for multi-character, multi-voice, which is what it's doing right now. This is you're seeing the newest of the new on our development environment here, and so this is all pretty cool, because what you're seeing here is that these voices are now being generated around the character that I wrote. Okay. And so now this voice comes back for Sienna, this voice comes back for Derek, the voice comes back for the narrator, and we can proof that to make sure it's just right. And so,
welcome to the Audioverse, a Spoken original. Sienna, ever wonder why they call that the Milky Way galaxy?
What's on your mind, Comanchero?
And so,
you got a British accent.
I do. Well, of course, it's Welcome to the Audioverse. I have to make sure everything is really interesting. And so what you're looking at here is how this little work was divided up. And I
so
love this little work.
Those voices that just came up, were they kind of chosen by your system because
that's right. Yeah. So so that's right. And so looky here, I'll show you exactly how that works. So let's take Sienna. You mentioned Sienna. So we actually generated this description of Sienna and the description of her voice. And if you want to go back and you want to change that, and you want to regenerate that custom voice on Hume or 11 Labs, you can just keep going until you get it exactly right. And then we'll also pull back from our system the library voices of voice actor voices that match that as well. That's how all of that works. And so all the voices are generated around the character that I wrote, and then the passages get divided, separated, and the emotional tones assigned such that this is delivered as a great multicast narration. On top of that, you can designate any of the words or phrases in your work that should have a particular pronunciation that it might get difficult. We identify some up front, but then you can add different ones. And one of the other things that our authors really love is that not only can you narrate the title and the author, but also you can actually introduce with your own intro. Okay. And so that means you can add your own author intro at the beginning. Okay. But the real magic is here. And that is, the separation and padding of all of the, you see how many milliseconds there are here, right? You see that the emotion is being pulled in automatically so that the prosody, the delivery is just perfect. And so now we can just go ahead and we can make spoken, and now the narration begins. And so the narration will take just a few minutes. And then when it comes back, it will look a little something like this.
So that live introduction, that's just you introducing the book first. That's actually not part of the manuscript you uploaded in the first place.
The introduction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. And so now we can just go ahead. If we want to proof the whole thing, we can do that.
Yep. Nice. And so with the characters that you've created there, so that the system's automatically chosen some that it thinks fits with the narrative that you've selected so far. If you wanted to choose different ones, is that quite straightforward to do as well?
You mean if it misattributes the character?
Yes,
Do you
exactly,
mean something else? Yeah. So this right here is Derek, but if we needed to change that over to Sienna, or if there's another character that needs to be assigned to, we can just add new right here. Yeah. And you know what's funny is, and I love giving this example. Let's say you have 110 speaking characters, which I do in Taming the Perilous Skies. Let's say that you have a crowd and somebody in the crowd comes through and says, "Excuse me." We will generate the perfect voice for the person who comes from a crowd and says, "Excuse me." And so it's amazing what the end result is. And of course, I'm demonstrating multicast because that's the hard stuff. And our models that we've trained for it are just so good now. In fact, we're doing one more pass on that today to prepare for our V1 launch. And so it's an exciting time. And then once you publish the work, you can download it and distribute it however you want. We'll lump in the ACX quality mastering for you as well. And you're off to the races, and that's all you have to do. You'll get the files directly if that's what you want, or you can stream them on Spoken.
When it comes to editing the audio that you get back, is it easy to, for example, say the AI has got the emotion wrong? Say there's like a murder scene or something, and someone sounds really happy. Would you be able to change that emotion through the editing?
Yep, that's exactly right. So if we need to questioning, gentle, breaking silence to any of these other standard emotions, you can. But if you want to just edit that and put in a different emotion, you certainly can. And here's the other thing too: if you want to change how it's delivered, I'm going to give you an example here. You're going to love this.
Right.
Okay, so these two young people, Sienna's a British young woman, and so they're talking about how to change their voices. Okay. And so you can see here, I would change my voice to different things, and then right down here, she says, I'd say things in an American accent, like, I'm going down the road a piece, and some bison jerky, and then shoot me some tin cans with my 22. Well, if it doesn't change her British accent to make her sort of funnily, saying this, you just hit this and you say, I'd say things in an American accent, like, I'm going down the road a piece and on some bison jerky, and then shoot me some tin cans with my 22. And if you say that like that, it will record it and it will deliver it in Sienna's voice exactly as you recorded it.
Yeah, amazing.
And so delivery is everything, right? You need your readers to be lost in story. And we believe multicast can be one of those new dimensions brought about by AI that was never accessible before at all, right? How much would a multicast novel be to narrate traditionally? $19,000 probably.
Yep.
And so this becomes something that becomes very accessible. It's not just single narrator that becomes accessible. It's also dual and multicast and the whole enchilada. And so as AI audiobooks become more mainstream, we're going to be able to see how all of these different iterations play out. Now, I do want to say something that we carefully monitor reader reaction as well. And so there is a real concern that this becomes the audio drama with lots of different sounds and music cutting in at all times. We don't necessarily think that's the right and perfect way to approach this. And so we want to deliver multicast as just right down the middle of the fairway, as if you've got a great banter going between great voice actors. And in fact, you can choose voices from voice actors that get paid on our platform if that's your choice. And so we just want it to be a great delivery of story.
Yeah, of course. Now, I think when we've spoken before, you've mentioned that you can use your own voice for parts of it, like generally. How can you get your voice onto there so that you can start to use that as the narrator that you want?
Yeah, in Voices, you can just click the button and add your personal voice. We've got a little script, and you can just read it, and it gives a range of emotion, and then that becomes a custom voice that you can choose for your memoir or for your villain, or whatever you like. And so that's a great thing about it. And so yeah, personal voice actor voices, custom generated AI voices around your character. We're going pretty hard and fast at this thing. So yeah.
Nice. How long are you finding it's taking to edit or to do this? Like, say you've got a standard sized book. How long are you finding it's taking authors to like upload their content, to edit the content, and make it, so that it's from upload to being ready to go?
Yeah, so it really all depends on the author and how much proofing they want to do. It's always good to proof your entire work and listen
Yep.
to your entire work, and so we always recommend that. The one thing that we really strongly recommend is that if you're going to generate a custom voice around every character, that you just listen to that voice, and make sure that it aligns with your expectation of how that's delivered. Do that first. Now, the way that we're approaching things from a business perspective is different than the way others approach it. We're not planning to charge a subscription. And so you're not going to be paying for something that you might not use. And so we're going to charge our authors to create great audio, based on their word count, but we're going to give them a lot of cushion for fixing, re-narrating, changing emotion, for those passages. And so while, we'll base it primarily off of your word count, we'll give you a lot of cushion so that we're not nickeling and diming you if you have to go and change things and perfect things, because we want you to have a perfect audio work. And so, yeah, that's how we're approaching it. So pay as you go, pay by word count, but lots of cushion on being able to perfect the work.
What is the pricing at the moment for doing audiobooks?
Well, of course, traditionally it'd be thousands of dollars, right? To do the voice actor. So let's first of all understand that's the traditional. But our plan is right now to go out with, and we're still looking at this, and we're working with some of our power users to make sure that we get the messaging down correctly. The plan is for it to be in $10 increments based on word count. And so direct street price directly at spoken.press will be probably $10 for every 5,000 words, but we'll give you the full 10,000 words, twice that amount for narration, re-narration, fixing, etc. So,
Yeah.
so basically, so if you have a 50,000 word work, it'd be $100, but you'll get 100,000 words of narration credit to be able to make sure it's just right. And then you'll also get mastering with that. And whether you choose single narrator or multicast, it doesn't matter to us. It's the same price. That's pretty cool, right? And the Studio, you've just seen Studio. You see how easy it is just to create and go through and paste through and proof your work. And so we're really focused on bringing a great product to market for the author.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really good. I mean, what the main feature we've been looking at just now is creating the audiobook from scratch. And that audiobook you get is one that you can share on different platforms as well.
Yeah,
but I know that
sure.
Spoken has the ability for you to listen through the platform, and for people, I know you kind of advertise it. I've seen some times as a mixture between like social media and Audible. So how does that platform work when customers are listening to it through the platform itself?
Yeah, so you can just make it available on the platform for others to listen to if you want to do it as your teaser chapter, right? And point people to it, and then link out to wherever you're selling your audiobook. That's totally fine. That's great. We really envision Spoken as something that can be great for discoverability. We're doing some great work in creating trailers that are very exciting. So we're doing some where you're going to be seeing more about that work that we're doing. And then we are also just about ready to launch this big advertising campaign as well. And so I want to show you something on that front. So
yeah, definitely. Let's get on to that now, because I think there's some other ways of authors monetizing the content too.
Yes. So we can share a little bit about that. I want to show you this though, because this is just so fun. My team includes a lot of great production experts, Joshua Pavato, Patrick Wimp, and so this is one of our ads that's going to be starting to run at the end of this week.
I brought my sci-fi novel to life as an audiobook with Spoken.
It's one thing to write about falling in love, but now, with Spoken, they can hear it happen.
I wrote him to scare them. Spoken, let me speak.
I wrote the heroes. Spoken, let them speak.
Write it, hear it. Any story, any size. Professional audiobooks in a click.
Spoken.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah,
I just
really
love that so much. The team that we work with, we're very creative. We're author focused. We want to make them, successful. And so we want to help them create these works that they can distribute throughout the world. The world is changing quickly when it comes to the acceptance of AI for audio delivery. And that's really no surprise, because in the end, as an author, you want to bring your story to life. And with audio being so dominant as a modality and so historically inaccessible and expensive, and not even to speak like multicast, like that wasn't even the word multicast or fullcast wasn't even in the vernacular for an indie self-publishing author. I mean, come on, there's no way. Or using your personal voice to recite your memoir or nonfiction work. All of this now available at spoken.press.
Yeah, amazing. Have you got any new features that you're working on at the moment that should be coming out after the launch?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So the new multicast model is stunning. It's just stunning. All of it is just getting to where it's really good and you don't have to mess with it, right? It's really good automatically. And so I mentioned a moment ago that Taming the Perilous Skies, my debut novel, was the very first fully automated multicast audiobook ever produced in human history. And yet I did that a few weeks ago. Even since then, the true automation of all that, the spacing, the padding, the emotion, the cadence, the narrative cohesion has moved forward with some of the work that we're doing and this new model that we're deploying now. And so it's all just, gearing towards better, higher quality automation, make sure that we can get that work into the right distribution channels. We're now working with distributor partners to be able to utilize this technology to do, higher volume for their customers. If they distribute ebooks, for example, taking that and making sure that we can produce that for their authors in partnership with that technology partner. And so what we're working on most is that kind of stuff, is just better automation, better, we scale really well. We're B2B people. We're big cloud, people, and big cloud people. You can quote me on that. And we're big cloud people. Taming the perilous skies. Yeah, scale is very important. Quality, scale, reliability. And so that's mostly what we're working on. But here, pretty soon, you're going to see how we're going to help the author on discoverability and do some really fancy pants stuff in that department too.
Nice. And
Yep.
so for the authors who are looking at getting into audiobooks, but say they already sell their books through
Yep.
like Amazon or things like that, how does that how does Spoken work alongside with selling your books through Amazon, audiobooks through Amazon?
Yeah, sure. So you've got your manuscript. That's a good start.
Yeah.
Start with that. And so depending on your partner, you may find pretty soon, you may find Spoken just baked right there, where your distribution of that manuscript has a button next to it that says "Make your audiobook now." And for right now, we're focused on authors having their own independent Spoken account. So even when you go through a partner to sweep in that manuscript and automate that process, it will verify that you have a Spoken account. And so having a Spoken account now, you've got about 6 days left for it to be free, by the way. But getting a Spoken account now is a great first step. And you've got your manuscript, so you're going to be off to the races.
Yeah, amazing. Now, you're launching properly in a couple of days. And you've been kind of in beta mode, even though it really looks very professional so far already. How many authors have you got who are using Spoken so far, and how are they using it?
Yeah, well, we have thousands of users and thousands of audio stories, about 50% of which is full, multi-installment. We call them installments, not chapters, multi-installment audiobooks. And so, yeah, we're gearing up, with some nice volume. Yeah, join the band.
Join the band.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, I think we've sort of been through all the questions I wanted to cover. I think,
All right.
yeah. Do you have any sort of closing notes you want to go through about just the final selling points of Spoken before we head off?
Yeah. Well, of course. I mean, I tell my friends, just pull the string and tell me how much time you want me to talk. For those of you who don't know that reference, dolls used to have strings on their back that you'd pull, and it would say something. So I'm sorry that I'm that old.
I think the scary ones still do in horror films, don't they?
Okay, good. Well, then the reference not entirely lost on your audience. But yeah, so, we and the team at Spoken are authors building this for authors, and this is all we do. And we're going to continue to invest in a great product for you to bring your great story to a great audience. And so check it out. Yeah, spoken.press.
Brilliant. Well, thanks very much, Phil, and we'll see you again soon.